And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the last king of the sea, the best player in all of Southeast Asia, not just the Zerg, as I quickly fix his name as well. Hailing from the land of Vietnam and representing Team Gosu, it is MeomaikA. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the best Protoss player in all of Southeast Asia, hailing from the land of Malaysia, representing Team Infected. It is Ranger. Let's go. Ranger, of course, has been putting in a lot of work. He's been practicing a lot. He's been streaming almost every day, or every day, like for a couple of months now. It's pretty intense. It's pretty insane. But he's been putting in the work. You know, he's really passionate about the game, about StarCraft, really looking to improve. And we'll see how he can perform here against someone of the caliber of MeomaikA. Now that Nice is gone, I think I would almost say that MeomaikA is the favorite in this tournament right now. He is one of the best. Can go toe-to-toe with the Europeans, with the Koreans. Has been the Oceanic representative in DreamHack for quite some time, for a couple of years. That's why he was the king of the sea. Nowadays, Southeast Asia and Oceania is now merged with China this year, so it's a little bit more difficult being the representative now that Oliveira is in the region, so a little bit of a feels bad, man. But, you know, I think competition can always be a good thing, and it can definitely help out MeomaikA, especially considering that his worst matchup is ZvP, so, you know, competing against players like Coffee and Oliveira on a more regular basis is maybe a good thing for him. Maybe. As we are getting into this, it was a pool first opener from MeomaikA. Pool, hatch, into gas. Very safe with this. He has a couple of links to work with. He's moving out across the map. Is going to apply some pressure. Ooh, Ranger, a little bit supply blocked. His pylon was delayed. And the links are slipping in. But the pylon was delayed because we're going for a proxy across the map. Okay. So MeomaikA gets a full scout off, confirms that, hold up, where's your tech? Your tech should be thrown down any moment now, and it's not. Where that something is up, something is wrong. You're back at home just droning, working on link speed. Thing is cleaned up, and we can see that it is going to be a Stargate opener, but a proxy Stargate out on the map. So those oracles can rally out a little bit faster. They can hit a little bit harder. And we'll see if MeomaikA can piece this all together. Meanwhile, a massive shout out to Istun in the chat. Thank you so much, Papi. Thank you so much for subscribing for 7 months. Thank you. Always do appreciate the support. Gracias, Papi. Gracias. Always, always. Quack, Papi. Quack. As we are getting into this, MeomaikA did go for a bit of a later third base, but this is very MeomaikA. He is one that just takes the delayed natural, takes the delayed third base in favor of being safe and secure, especially against a Protoss player. Speed is now done. First Oracle is on the way. Mio, he's going for roaches. Okay. So no Ling Hydra this time. MeomaikA is very fond of Hydras, but won't be going for them in game 1. I imagine at some point this series he's going to be going Ling Hydra. Can almost guarantee it. But yeah, actually Ranger, he's going to be banking up his Oracles. He's waiting for the second one before he goes in. Interesting. Meanwhile, MeomaikA is getting ready back at home. We have 1 Spore for each base. We have 3 Queens, so 1 for each base as well. This is also like a bit of a weakness or a bit of a stylistic choice of MeomaikA. He actually does cut Queens. Like typically we would have 6 Queens at this point. We only have 3. So because of that, this Oracle harass is that much more devastating or that much more deadly for MeomaikA. Here we go, the Oracles, they dive into the main base, 2, 3. 4 drones go down. Pretty good start here for Ranger. Pretty good start. Behind this, he's getting his third base up and running. He's going for a Robo. Delayed Twilight Council. Interesting. It looks like Ranger wants to go for a more immortal heavy composition. Something a little bit slower. Meanwhile, MeomaikA testing the waters across the map, does get eyes on the third base, and he's looking to try and deny it. Wings are getting a bit of a surround here on these Stalkers. The shield battery isn't ready yet. One Stalker will go down. As the roach reinforcements do arrive, shield battery will fall, and we should be able to clean up all these gateway units. Eventually, these oracles are going to run out of energy as well. We have another warp in. Ranger should be able to hold on to his third. Yeah, as he does clean up with the rest of these roaches. Meanwhile, Mio, as he takes his gases, he is not going Hydras. Once again, he's going for a Spire. This man wants to go Mass Muta. And specifically against what Ranger has, I think it can work really well. Oh. As we are forcing a recall. But we have no additional Stargate production. We have a Void Ray on the way, which, I mean, will help at least a little bit. We have a delayed Twilight Council, which means there's no Blink. There is no Blink for Ranger. So Mutas have so much potential right now. Ling's doing a great job of just harassing, taking down another Stalker. Looks like we're making a beeline for this Stargate. Can we deal with the Stargate before the Void Ray comes out? It's gonna be close. I think the pylon should go down in time. Up. And there we go. A couple of seconds away. 2-3 seconds off. The Void Ray will not complete. Stargate is depowered. Meanwhile, the Spire has been spotted by these oracles immediately. 2 Stargates are thrown down. This is probably not the best place for tech. Didn't take much to get scouted. So we have 2 Stargates on the way. Phoenixes are going to be on the horizon. We have +1. Twilight Council for Blink. Ranger is getting ready for the Mutas. He is preparing back at home. Meanwhile, oh my god, MeomaikA, he's crazy. He's working on +1 air attack, but he is hard switching into Hydras instead. Which makes sense, like, his Mutas got scouted, so he knows that they can't really get too much damage done. Meanwhile, they get into a mineral line, and oh my god, so many probes are going down. The Mutas, they dive into the main. There is a cannon, but no shield battery. Was the natural is that much more exposed. So much lost mining time. The probes, they come back too soon. No! And almost the entire middle line is going to be going down. And again, we're forcing a massive reaction into these Phoenixes. Or are we? Actually, Ranger, he only makes 2. He's cleaning up the Mutas. It looks like Ranger has identified. He's like, hold up. You're throwing these away. You're throwing these Mutas away for a reason, because you're not making any more. So Ranger, he doesn't take the bait. He doesn't make any more Phoenixes. He's going into Colossi. He knows, man. He knows. There we go. As he confirms the Hydras. He should cancel +1 air attack, hopefully, as well. We're not going to need it. As Ranger is pushing out across the map, his economy is in shambles. He doesn't have the largest army right now, as he's pushing in a little bit caught off guard. Stalkers are going down, the Phoenixes as well. Ranger, he had to consolidate his army, but he just trickled in. Up the rocks. Cheeky move from MeomaikA. He was trying to make the rocks fall in the Protoss army, but they fell on some Lings instead. Feels bad, man. Regardless, Ranger will barely escape with his life. He's got his first Colossi out, but again, he just doesn't have the best economy. Glaives? We're going Glaive at Eps? Okay. Glaives are on the way. MeomaikA getting ready to dive on this army. Here we go. We have 1 Colossus, but 1 is not enough. Dive on forward. Immortals go down. Overcharge, try and do what it can, but there's just so much DPS with these Hydras. It looks like the Colossus may be able to barely hold on. God, the Hydras, they just melted against it, but yeah, everything else is dying. There's no ground army for Ranger other than these two Colossi. The boys are being pulled. And Ranger holds on, but it cost him every single probe here. He's got 9 left, but he's down to 44 probes. 44 workers. And hey, because we have the Spire, we're making Corruptors. It makes sense. Corruptors are on the way. Sure, we may have 3 Colossi, but hey, we have Corruptors to help deal with them. So MeomaikA making use of his tech. Corruptors will have a place here in this army. Meanwhile, Ranger is going to be committing to Glaives. I do think Glaives, it's an interesting choice. I don't think it's bad because there are no Banelings, for those wondering. If it was Ling Bane, then the Adepts would probably be just an awful choice. But without them, I do think Adepts can fare well against Lings and Hydras. Meanwhile, the Corruptors, they rock up and... oh god, Overcharge is going to try to keep the Colossus alive. It is not good enough. One Colossus does go down. Only one is left. Go MeomaikA, getting ready for a second wave, for a second push. Yeah, we're actually going to be able to make use of those Glaive Adepts. Sentries are being morphed in. Force fields are thrown down. They will buy some time. But the Overcharge ran out earlier. Colossus goes down, and that was the only thing keeping Ranger alive. The only thing keeping him in this game was the Colossus. Oh, we do have a Disruptor. Oh my god! Massive connection on the Hydras. But it's still not enough. Despite the Nova, it's still not enough. As MeomaikA has broken on through, GG gets called, and MeomaikA takes game number 1. GG. Bit of a chaotic game there from our players. We start off with a proxy Stargate, into Mutas, into Hydras. Oh, GG, GG. Classic Meo. Classic Meo. As he takes the lead, and one more game. He's one game away from advancing on to the semifinals. As a reminder, Nicaract, the Terran player, is waiting for the winner of this series for either Ranger or MeomaikA. And can Ranger fight back here in game 2? As we are going to be loading in to Altitude. They don't have the mod on? Yeah, there's no WCS game heart. No mod for this series. We gotta count, we gotta count. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Altitude, we have the last King of the Sea. We have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing Team Gosu, and one game away from advancing on to the semifinals. It is MeomaikA. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Malaysian Protoss, the best Protoss in all of Southeast Asia, representing Team Infected, looking to fight back and force the ace match. It is Ranger. We go. MeomaikA once again going for a pull first. Is it inefficient? Yes. Is it safe? Yes. Is it MeomaikA? Yeah, it is. Pull first out of Meo. Again, just to have faster Lings. Just to have faster Queens as well. We're going for a bit of a delayed hatchery, but we're on Altitude, largest map in the map pool, so he has enough time to expand, and Ranger won't be able to block him. A large map like this, I would say, would favor something like Muta play, but we already saw Mutas in this series, and I don't know if I don't think MeomaikA is going to go for that 2 games in a row. I don't think he's going to be rushing into a Spire here. Despite the fact that I think this is a good map for it, I feel like MeomaikA is more concerned with mind games and more concerned with just keeping his opponent on edge and keeping them guessing. We'll see. as Ranger is going for a gate expand into that into that cyber core. Nothing too crazy from Ranger. Everything's looking normal, As MeomaikA does only make 2 lings just to shoo away that probe. Is going to be chasing it down. Behind this, Mio just going to be droning. And we'll see what he does with his first wave of gas. Something that we haven't seen yet from MeomaikA this series is 2 base Hydras. He has gone into Hydras in the last game, but that was like more of a transition and it was a little bit later. There is a build that MeomaikA loves to go for where he takes a fast lair, he goes for 3 gases, gets a 3rd base, but he goes into very fast Hydras. Before I can talk about the Hydras though, Ranger, he wants to be the aggressor. He wants to dictate the pace of the game. Twilight Council. Not a Stargate opener, a Twilight Council opener here from Ranger, so much more aggressive, much more assertive. From here, he can go into Glaive Adepts. From here, he can go into DTs. As the second gateway is thrown down. We'll see what Ranger decides to go for. Mio, behind this, just taking his 3rd base. Adept going to be threading the mineral line, but only threatening. As the Twilight Council has completed, there is no Robo, but it is going to be Glaives. Okay, interesting. Are we going to do this without a robotics facility? Which is a thing, but there we go. Robo is now thrown down. Adepts, they threaten the Shade into the main base. No, they commit to the Shade, which means the Adepts are going to go down. Adepts are cleaned up. MeomaikA taking control of his side of the map. So we haven't pulled out a gas. This tells me that this is going to be a little bit more committed from Ranger. From here, he can throw down additional gateways and go for like a 6-gate all-in. He isn't for the time being, so this could just be for a faster Dark Shrine, so we can mix in DTs with the Glaive Adepts as well. Ranger has options, or he can go for a fast Robotics Bay for Disruptors. Regardless, we can see he's being contained to 2 bases. No Oracle, so MeomaikA knows it's a Twilight Council opener. The lair on the way, 3rd base being taken. Neo happily droning for the time being. No Roach Warren, which is concerning. You see 4 gateways for the time being for Ranger. With no Roach Warren, I am getting concerned. We're going straight for the lair. This could be for that Hydra build that we were talking about earlier. Ranger setting up for a 3rd base. Interesting. I wonder. So because he was slowed down because of the Lings earlier, it looks like Ranger is getting ready to transition instead. Huh. So the 4 gateways is going to be ready for this. So this is going to hit far later than normal, unfortunately. And he may not even be able to hold on to his 3rd base. The Lings, they're about to rock up. At the same time, the prison does reveal itself. MeomaikA turns everything back around. And yeah, there it is. 2 base Hydras. I say 2 base. I mean, we have a 3rd base being saturated, sure. But very fast Hydrogen from MeomaikA. No roaches needed. Yeah, and Ranger, he doesn't commit to the Glaives. Just because his build was disrupted earlier, he just couldn't really execute it quite well. Or he wasn't able to really see it come to fruition. So he's expanding, he's being more defensive. And this is a good thing for Mio. He gets away with quite a lot. The Prism itself, almost going down. Yeah, Mio, he's free to just make Lings, Hydras, and push out across the map. And Ranger, he's not going to have a lot to defend. So because he went for a Twilight Council opener, and because he went for Glaives, there's no Blink Stalkers, no Charge Lots, no Immortals, no splash damage. That's the downside of opening up Glaive Adepts, is that you want to do economic damage because you're putting yourself behind otherwise. To be fair, we do have a lot of Adepts. And we do shade on in, but we get surrounded immediately. The Hydras have arrived. The Lings, they do close the distance. The Adepts are going down. Good target firing. Ranger, he was trying to focus down as many of those Hydras as he could. But there's still so much more. Ranger, he's going double robo, triple. Oh my god, 3 robos and a robotic spade. I guess this will be for Colossus or Disruptors, but like, he can't hold on to his third. It's just not going to happen. Third base is going to go down. Adepts are trying to chase down whatever drones they can. Not too many reinforcements back at home from MeomaikA, but Ranger, he does recall back. Mia, I feel like he probably could have committed there. Oh, not the best fight this time, though. Does have to wait for his Hydras. Hydras are about to rock up. Behind this, Immortals are on the way. Just to help defend. There is no shield battery here at the third base. No overcharge. The third will go down. Mia getting a full surround on these Adepts as well. We see Ranger trying to save what he can, juggling his heart out here with his Prism. But it is too much. We have 3 shield batteries back at home. Massive mortal production. We're going to be able to hold on, just barely. Behind this, if MeomaikA wanted to, we could just drone. We could saturate his bases. There we go, gases are being taken. Roach Warren on the way. MeomaikA, he backs off and he's droning. I mean, he doesn't have to push into the natural. With 3 shield batteries and an overcharge like that, it's not going to be worth it trying to break this location. So MeomaikA, he backs off, saturates his bases. Ranger is going to be expanding here on the right-hand side. So Mia's going to have to, he's going to want to have get a read on this. It looks like he does. His Overlord does spot the pylon. He knows, Papi, he knows. As Mia can now focus on his upgrades. We've got double Evo chamber on the way for +1 attack and +1 range. 4th base being taken. Yeah, just chill it. Just chill it. You know, our Ranger is producing quite a lot of Immortals. It looks like he cancelled that 3rd robo. Looks like it was cancelled, but he's getting into double Colossus production, which will be good against the Ling Hydra. Ranger is attempting to stabilize. Now, typically what you would do against this as a Zerg player, you would tech up into an Infestation Pit, go towards Hive Tech, and get Vipers out. Vipers would completely shut this down, but it's MeomaikA we're talking about, and he's doing things his own way. He's going to be transitioning into Roach Ling instead. His goal here, I imagine, is to just get us around and just engulf this army. Ranger looking pretty committed with this push. He does have quite a large army, to be fair. Oh, Vials are going to be connecting. Massive Vials connect on the army. Colossus are doing what they can, but everything else is falling. The Colossus are the only thing that survive. Again, Ranger just juggling his heart out, doing what he can. Ah. Oh, a bit of a miss rally as well. He does get one of his Immortals caught out. He does recall back home with what he has. But alas, there's just too much Zerg. The wave of Roach and Hydras are just too much. And MeomaikA looking to make a deep run in this tournament. Looking to make it into the semifinals. So he has a Terran player waiting for him. The wall is not a wall. The Lings, they flood into the natural base. 3rd is on fire. Colossus goes down. There is nothing left. We have a Disruptor. We have a Disruptor. To be fair. We don't have a Viper to deal with it, but it may not even matter. Oh! Oh my god. 9 kills on that Disruptor, by the way. A massive shot goes off. Mio just taking it to the face. He likes it, Bob. He likes it. As he kind of just forces his way into the natural base. He's going to be losing everything here. Not too sure if that was quite worth it for Meo, but he's actually focusing down probes. He's getting as many probes as he can. Behind this, remaxing, rebuilding. We have an infestation pit on the way, so the beginning of Viper production for Meo. Hey, the Colossi survived, I guess. Ranger gonna try and mac her out of this. I appreciate the tenacity here of Ranger. Definitely do appreciate it. But Meo is about to remax. And this time, he should be able to break the natural. This time, there's significantly less here. There's less SimCity. The gateways have gone down. Oh, as Ranger pushes out. Meo, he's got options. He can go for the natural or he can go for the army. And he's going for the army. Decent connections on these Novas, but we get a surround on the entire army here of Ranger on the Protoss. And everything will go down. GG gets called, and MeomaikA does it. He takes down Ranger 2-0 and advances on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. And just like that, we have our semi-finalists ready. It's going to be MeomaikA versus Nicaract, and it's going to be Iba versus MindoVK. Oh, let's go. 2 Zergs, 1 Protoss, and 1 Terran. Does MeomaikA count as a Zerg? I guess technically. He's his own beast. He's his own beast. So balance, Sparky, balance. Let's go. GG. Well played by Ranger. My condolences, of course, as he does meet his end at the hands of MeomaikA. But I'm sure, then again, he can learn from this as well. MeomaikA and Ranger from the same region. I'm sure they have a lot of practice with each other, and yeah, I look forward to the next time they face. I look forward to it. Look forward to it. Oh, but congratulations to Meo. From here, we have 3 series left. We have both semis and then the grand finals as well. But before that, we have some housekeeping to do. We have some housekeeping. If you enjoy the tournament, exclamation mark Patreon in the chat to support our own events like the Sparkling Tuna Cup, like the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, and Grand Platypus Open as well. Here on the Cranky Ducklings, we do host 3 bi-weekly events, and we haven't hosted them in a while. They have been put on hold. We have been putting them on hiatus just because of all these other events, because of Home Story Cup, and ESL Masters Summer, and Africa TV Champions Cup. Like, there have been a lot of other events going on. So we didn't want to make the players pick and choose. So we did put our tournaments on hold, but now they're back. Now they are all back. Oh, and yeah, if you want, you can support us on Patreon. You can support us on Matcherino. It's up to you. Up to you if you want to invest in StarCraft. Of course, watching is good enough. It's all good. We appreciate people that just watch. It's all good. The amount of the money that we spend on our events is $300 USD a month. You can see it down there in the bottom right. And through Patreon, we're halfway there. We are halfway there. Half of our events are funded, half of our events are funded by the community. So thank you. Thank you so much for your support. We always do appreciate it. Our goal is to not just fund our events through Patreon, but also to grow our events through Patreon. I would love to have top 4 paid out, top 4 or even top 8, or even having a monthly finals as well. And more importantly, even turning these tournaments into weeklies. Right now, it's every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks we host these events. Love to see them on a more regular basis. That's that's the goal here. The goal in the Cranky Ducklings. So if you're interested, you can support us through Patreon. Otherwise, we're going to get ready for the semis. We're going to get ready. We're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a break. Going to take this moment to stretch our roaches, to hydrate our hydras, to massage all of our marines. We're going to be back in a couple of minutes. When we return, we'll have the rest of the tournament. See you guys soon. See you soon. Huh.